Have you ever wondered how much you could do in a short period of time if you just put all of your effort into it? A fast approaching deadline may be the answer for getting something done. Procrastinators looking at you. No managing other responsibilities, no taking breaks, no stalling, just doing the thing. I often think about how I could get videos out way faster if this was my full-time gig. Well, today I have a very special, first of its kind video. I participated in the 24-hour contest. For those not in the know, the 24-hour contest is hosted by Toon Boom. Teams of 5 are given a prompt and are tasked with making a 30-second animated film. Yes, in 24 hours straight. Some of you may be absolutely shocked to learn that I would be interested in a challenge like this, with videos titled things like I did 24 animations in 24 hours and remaking an ode PMV in 3 hours. But I felt a calling. I knew I had to do this. This is a worldwide event, and there are like cash prizes for the top winners, but honestly, we are not expecting to win by any means. Top dogs like Sheridan and Scat are participating. I am just at my local university with my friends. We are absolutely the underdogs here. We wanted to do this as a learning experience, and boy did we sure learn. So I grabbed 4 of my friends, and we plan to stay over in the animation department to do the all-nighter of our lives. Not including map parts or my work on Skynex's backward house, this would be my first time really participating in a group like this, and like my first time directing people, because you'll see I was the director. And some of you may be actually shocked to learn that I don't do all-nighters, like ever. The last all-nighter I did was in middle school while I was playing Stardew Valley. So I would be interested to see how my body would react. I was pretty sure I would have to take a nap eventually sometime since my body's just not used to it. I also don't drink caffeine. My body also doesn't like caffeine. So I was gonna try to stay away from it for that night just so I don't mess myself up. But with all that out of the way, there's nothing much you can do before the contest. So let's just skip to the theme reveal.
To create a 30-second animated film on the theme of flip your perspective.
I really liked this prompt because of how flexible it was and pretty much the limitless directions you could go with it, both in subject matter and visuals. After brainstorming, we liked the idea of a character on a 2D plane, like a 2D platformer, and then a camera swing to reveal things about the character in environments not seen before. One of my teammates has these like critter designs I really like. They are very simple and easy to animate while still being unique and visually interesting. So I wanted them to design the characters. And here are the designs my teammate came up with. I was the only one who really drew animals, so I offered to animate all of the wolf shots. Surely one person doing all of the shots for one character won't be a problem. And also, another point against me not being a furry. I am not winning this battle, and I don't think I will try to win. But also, before anyone asks, Hornet? Yes.
Shaw!
And storyboarding is where I think I came to one of my personal failings for this project. Conceptually, the idea of a character being on a 2D platform environment is a cool idea, but in execution would be harder to look cohesive, especially with multiple people on a project. The background had to be big so it wouldn't look crunchy when we zoomed in all of the way, but that led to Premiere Pro lagging and After Effects hating me, and my teammates having issues importing the whole file into their program. Right now, our game plan was to only focus on the long shot and then the big reveal scene. And we thought if we had time, we could go in and add more to the end. Oh, you sweet summer child. You thought that was the way to go.
Oh, I love it! I love the energy for that.
And guys, one of our teammates could compose music. I have no musical talent. That is not on my ballpark. So I was just in awe as I watched him sit there and do his magic. This is like the first time someone has made music for my own personal work, and it was such a treat, and it came out so good. You'll see. I keep saying that, but you will see. I banged out this rough draft animation as fast as I could and had another teammate animate the bunny while I animated the wolf.
What the dog do?
What the dog do?
What the dog do?
What the dog do? We had our other teammates work on polishing up the background for the first shot and work on the bunny walk cycle. So 10 hours later, we have kind of our first shot put together. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah! Yeah. So this is our money shot, so I gotta make sure the compositing is also good, but I think we can do it. And wow, seeing all this come together for the first time, The first breaths of life in your animation, especially with your teammates, and hearing their excitement is so exhilarating. I would not trade that for the world, man. And everything else started coming in pretty nicely after that. We finished off the walk cycle and the tumble down the cliff, and then the run cycle when the bunny is being chased in the woods. I continued to work on all of the wolf animation shots. Of course, this wouldn't be a Koiispeck video if I didn't lose some kind of progress to Toon Boom. So, remembering this, Toon Boom helpfully crashed and I lost all of my progress on one of the shots, the emerging shot. Please don't delete all of my progress and then delete me. Stop! Stop!
Sweet lady Ellie.
Please! Please don't crash. This wasn't my first time losing progress to Toon Boom. No. So I just grit my teeth and reanimated it and it was fine. But speaking of crashing, After Effects, the program I was using to bring everything together, was not being nice. I was joking before the challenge how this film's life would be decided on whether or not my computer would want to act up, and oh my god, I should not make jokes like that. I was the one at the very start who volunteered to do compositing because I was the only one with experience. For those who don't know, compositing is basically where you bring the characters, the background, all of the elements in, and you basically polish it to make it look as best as you can. For anyone who watches my videos, you might pick up on the fact that I am not the biggest fan of compositing. I'm fairly sure I spent more time compositing than animating in this challenge. I became an animator to draw, not sort through files for 5 hours. Compositing for me is frustrating. It's usually frustrating, but it's not straight up trying to kill me like it was this challenge. This was a compositing heavy piece. It wasn't just your standard, put your background and animation in and boom, that's the shot. No, I had to tween the background, the fall, the trees. Basically, anything that was tweened, I needed to do manually. And my computer did not like this. It kept crashing, and I had to force quit more times than I can remember. Another issue we had was the long extended shot where multiple people were working on it. There's going to be some inevitable style changes. We went with the first colored sketch of the character we had, and because of that, you can definitely see the widths and line variation and who did what. Not having a solid storyboard was pretty bad because we were just animating these parts separately and hoping they would work together in post. It was kind of like we were all crafting puzzle pieces, except we didn't exactly know the other puzzle pieces, and we were hoping they would just fit together in the end. Miraculously, they did work together well. My teammates are just that good, y'all. I did have an issue where we had 2 shots animate the same run cycle, and they looked a bit too inconsistent next to each other. So to make them flow together, I broke the no shot change rule and had the bunny run off screen and then cut to the shot with the other style, and I think it works okay. And because of the shot cut, I didn't have to animate the wolf's whole body, which was a plus. See, you can cheat stuff with cutting to different shots, and I do think that helps the style changes, but because our gimmick was that we wouldn't cut till the end, we couldn't do that for a large chunk of the film. And guys, you know the thing I said earlier about being able to shorten the length of the first shot if it got too long? Well, not really, because it would look unnatural if the background moved too fast. And I did take a chunk of excess space from the background, but for some reason, the bunny didn't line up with the background at all. So I had to spend like 20 minutes redoing all of the tweens. So this was the final shot. We need to focus on the ending. At 3 a.m. with 10 hours left, we finished the first shot and the most important reveal shot. Now 10 hours sounds like a lot of time, but remember, it took us 14 hours to do 2 shots. Now we had to scramble to figure out the rest of the film. Remember I said earlier about we'll just get these 2 shots done and figure it out? Well, now we had to figure it out. While I was compositing, my teammate storyboarded the last 3 shots. The first and last shot had the wolf and the bunny, while the second shot only had the bunny. My teammates came in clutch, and my teammate who animated the bunny in the turnaround also animated the bunny in the 3rd shot, and my other teammate fully animated the 4th shot, so thank you for that. We would not have completed the film without those. And now I had to animate the wolf for the 3rd and 5th shot. And remember, I'm the only one who can animate the wolf for sake of consistency. And I still had to composite the rest of the shots. I know, absolute shocker, I took on way more than I should have. But I hunkered down and I managed to animate both shots. I don't know why, but with just a couple hours left, I was feeling brave, and I also wanted to play around with color and the composition. The two main colors of these characters are red and blue. I thought it would be fun if the red forest turned blue when the wolf and bunny embraced. And this is why we finished later than the other groups, because of the compositing and because I wanted to add something a little fancy. All of my teammates did their shots in a timely manner, just what I said before about this being a very compositing heavy piece. It is 11:43, but we finished it. Yippee! Oh yeah, we were the last. Yep. We did it. But yeah, with all that said, I think I have a fully finished 30-second animated film to show you. Based on the theme, flip your perspective. I think I articulated pretty well what went wrong and, the things we would have done differently. The main thing is at the very start of the challenge, figuring out a storyboard that is exactly 30 seconds long, so we don't have to worry about time. Going over 30 seconds was a common problem I'm pretty sure all of the other teams in my college also faced. So yeah, next time I want to tackle it first and make sure we can get it under 30. I also think we could have conveyed the theme more clearly. We didn't have enough time to do any other concept art or color keys, but I do think the reveal could have been way more impactful if we focused on the one thing both of them had in common. But I do still think it works and we pulled it off. It might just take 1 or 2 more viewings to really get what we're trying to go for. And watching the other films in our college, I realized we tried to conform our styles into this idea and design rather than utilizing our individual strengths. I think next year we're gonna try and do that. You guys will not be shocked to learn that I was the only one out of my team to not get any sleep, and I felt fine until I went home and I crashed out mentally. So yeah, this is definitely a once a year thing. Take care of yourself. This is not something you should be doing on a monthly, weekly basis. I talked to my teammates and we agreed that the distribution of work was the problem, resulting from poor organization and me just offering to animate a whole character and do all the compositing. I am beyond proud of what me and my teammates managed to put together in such a short time frame with little to no sleep. I quite literally could not have done it without them, and I am keeping them anonymous for privacy's sake, but they know who they are. Doing a challenge like this with a team is a really great way of exposing yourself to what production actually will be like, and lets you see and contribute to all parts of making an animated film. I would recommend doing some kind of time challenge like this if you want to get your feet wet in all aspects of making an animated film. It does not have to be 24 hours straight. Of course, don't do this if you're prone to any kind of medical issues under pressure. Try your best not to sleep deprivate yourself more than you need to. If you decide to do a self-imposed challenges like I do on this channel, you can set a time you think will be manageable for yourself with a smaller goal, and you can give yourself breaks if you need to. And working in teams is how actual animation gets made, not just individual people. And this experience has proved to me that I want to be part of a production. Director or not, I'm gonna keep at it. Whoa, hey, thanks for sticking around. College, my job, and my secret comic that I talk about sometimes but don't have anything out yet has kind of been beating me up. So videos might be slow from here on out, but I am slowly chipping away at one I'm very excited for. My video may or may not be Prism related. And if you know what that word means and would like to see a sneak peek, I'm posting works in progress on my Patreon and memberships. So if you would like sneak peeks and your name at the end of my videos for only $2 a month, check it out. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Keep creating. Koi out.